Oh, yeah, I guess first things first. After the sort of extra exertions the players had to put in at the other weekend, are they all turned up right this morning?
Yeah, no, all in decent health.
And is that? I was actually thinking, so because you have stats on how much they run, all the rest of it, and how much more ground would they have had to have covered on average, say on Saturday?
Yeah, certainly the distances are up on certain players. That's natural after being 10 minutes after 10 men after 14 minutes. So yeah, you cover a bit more ground and whatnot. So we'll make sure we get the balance right of looking after players. We've still got plenty of injuries and illness in the camp, but I'm sure we'll have a strong enough 18 to put out tomorrow night.
Yeah, absolutely. And is that something that you sort of cumulatively over the course of how many weeks and months you look at the sort of distances run and think, actually, is this getting to a dangerous area?
Yeah, we analyse everything like that. You look at it, certain players and sprints and distances travelled and whatnot, and mental fatigue and all your bits and pieces. We try and make no stone unturned, especially more so this season, because we've been able to increase our staff and do things our proper football club should be run. So it always helps with that side of things.
Yeah, and I suppose even going back sort of 10 years, I mean, you must have seen this in your playing days. Sometimes some games players have, I won't say hid, but you can get away with maybe not putting in as much, and if you do certain things well, then the manager's still going to notice you, whereas now the stats are there, aren't they?
Certainly no hiding place for players, that's for sure, and it's pleasing for me that I've got a group that don't want to hide, that want to keep driving it forward and want to keep improving. They're very keen, and I've got some very good professionals at the football club, and that's the pleasing aspect. Is not many times I have to certainly not showing them for lack of effort, that's for sure. There's always areas of the game you need to improve on, which we obviously that'll never stop, because you never crack the game. There's always areas of where we need to improve.
What was the feeling? I mean, obviously straight after anytime you lose, you're going to feel pretty down. But what's the mood in that dressing room? Is it a sense of wanting to put the wrongs right from the weekend?
Oh yeah, when we lose, so it's still a bit raw. But by tomorrow night, it's another game, isn't it? So we ain't losing at this football club. We haven't built a losing culture, and like myself and my staff, the players hurt as well. So we want to bounce back as quickly as possible, make sure that confidence is not affected, because it shouldn't be. I thought for the first 15 minutes of the game, I thought it was cracking up to be a quality game of football. We'd had one cleared off the line. I think we'd had 3-4 corners. Tails had a great strike from 20 yards that just went wide. So for me, the positives were that I thought it was going to be a good game, and I think we'd have caused them all sorts of problems. Don't get me wrong, I think they'd have caused us problems as well, because they look to threat going forward. But it's one of those games of the season where, circumstances obviously change. I didn't think we adapted too well after the initial sending off, and certainly first off to get a grips of it. We got the grips of it last 10 minutes of the first half, and then 15-20 minutes of the second half. But yeah, a little bit soft, like I say, a little bit soft in our penalty box for me Saturday.
Okay, and I don't think anybody who's seen your team over the last couple of years will think that you would ever sort of go into your shell and keep trying to damage the imitation effectively. Does that ever cross your mind? No,
not at all. Not at all. Never will. To be honest with you, try and win games even if we've got 10 men. I think if you go back to Bramall Lane where we had a man sent off, we had a right good go there, and we keep continuing to do that. For me, you're just waiting to get beat if you put too many men behind the ball. For me, I don't like really thinking that way. I like to cause problems. Sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't.
And I suppose as you go at the leagues, if you do throw men forward, then if it's not quite right for whatever reason, then the quality of players is better to punish you, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously, but my aim is to win football matches, so we try and win plenty of away games as well as plenty of home games. So we'll keep working that way. We'll keep being attacking on the front foot, but we still need to make sure our defensive responsibilities are a lot better than what they were Saturday. And over the course of a third of the season, we've got to be defending our box better. It's an area of the game that we've been doing a lot of work on. We'll continue to do a lot of work on, because football matches and 9 times out of 10 are won in both boxes. I think we've been a massive attacking threat, but haven't quite got it right in our own box at the minute. So we'll keep banging that drum.
Okay, and now you've got a little run of games at the Memorial Stadium, and that, given your recent record there, has got to be something.
Yeah, but it counts for nothing, doesn't it? It's one game at a time. We've got a real tough game against Crawley, who gave us a great game down at their place. So don't like looking too far ahead, other than the 90 minutes that are ahead of us. So we'll look to do that. The lads will be giving it, and the staff will be giving it the best shot to get through to the second round.
And we know that who obviously what lies in wait in the second round now. Crawley, they're probably they're doing well in League Two, aren't they? And were you never surprised, but they gave you a real good test out.
Yeah, so I certainly don't look at the second round, because I'm not that disrespectful, to be honest with you. But the way I look at it is it's a tough team, like you say. Crawley have done well, haven't they? They've had a few missed results just lately, but I'm sure they'll be looking to bounce back. They've got good players that can hurt you on the day. So we'll be after on our toes and be at our best, like you always have now in pro football, even when you're playing the non-league teams. To be honest with you, you've got to be at your best. You haven't got time to chuck in bad games, because you'll get punished, whoever you're playing at whatever level.